When you get vicious.
Yeah. This for my brothers, man. And this how we live, man. That war boy life. Huh?
Lay back chillin', dog. Yeah, I'm trying to get it right.
Yo, where are you tuning into the I Don't Even Know Bro podcast with your host, King Guy, and your other host, Mike Chacho. What up, Mike Chacho?
What's good? What's good? What's going on, bro?
Oh, man, good, man. So, hey, listen, man, we got a special guest tonight, man, which is a spiritual entrepreneur. You know, he got the #1 labor-only moving business in Atlanta for 5 years straight. He helped half a dozen brothers, make six figures, including myself. He done over $1 million in business built just straight from scratch, man, straight from the beginning, man, straight from the mud. Graduated from VSU and been meditating, doing inner work for 9 years, man. And also a husband and a father to two beautiful daughters, man. Welcome, Benjamin Williams, aka Zeus7. What's up, my brother?
Hey, many blessings, man. I'm just glad to be here. Thank y'all for having me, man. Seriously.
Oh, man, it's such a blessing, man. It's such a blessing to see your growth as well, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we all came up together, man. Small town, we just all brothers, man. So yeah, man, we just want to bring you in today, man, and kind of explain, your growth and how you turn your energy around and how you going as about like that, man. So I know you big on the number 7,
Mm-hmm.
So, and when did you discover the spiritual number 7, and what does that really mean to you?
Nah, that's a great question. It's funny because everything that I kind of be on a lot of times, it's something that kind of came to me in a sense. So one day I had a brother just call me out of the blue. It was a Islam brother. He said, man, you should look into Islam. I looked into it a little bit. I said, okay, cool. I saw Supreme Mathematics. I ain't talked to this brother in 2 years. So for him to call me out of the blue and just say that only, I took it. I said, okay, let me just see what's up. Next thing you know, another brother I ain't talked to in years called me the very next day. So this little small window of people I ain't talked to, he said, you should look into Supreme Mathematics.
Right.
So I saw the number 7 meant God in Supreme Mathematics. But then I started researching the number and I started looking around. I started seeing the number everywhere. Already it laid out in the society, already meaning completion, already being a spiritual number, and knowing that numbers are alive and they have certain vibrations, that when you are in tune with the numbers, when you internalizing it and you seeing it externally, you'll be surprised of the transference that happen in your frequency and in that frequency, because numbers are infinite, you know what I'm saying? But they represent something much deeper on a higher level. So that totality, the resonance and then what the numbers mean when you look deep into it, that just resonated with me. I got the number 7 even as a charm on my chain. So I mean, it definitely resonated with me. So I just keep it close. And it's crazy because when I tell people about it and they see the 7, they can't stop seeing it.
Right, exactly, man.
Right.
I remember when you first mentioned it to me, man. And then I just started seeing 7 everywhere. And, the way I started using the 7, like when I see it on Times or just anywhere, just the number 7 or the name 7, I just take that as a sign of something good. So I'm gonna just jump into it. I'm gonna figure it out. Even if it's a risk, man. So I know you brought that to me and you brought that to my attention, man. So I just wanted you to kind of explain that to the world and how 7 helped you out and how you manifested a business from scratch to helping brothers like me as well, man, with your moving business all over the place as well, man. And with the music, man, how we used to jump it up with that music, man. We used to have a blast with that, man. But great times, man. So and I know you say the 7, man, is like a very spiritual number, man, meaning God. So what you think the difference between religion and being spiritual, if it's any?
Yeah, the difference between religion and spiritual, religion is more of a man-made construct for minds to walk them to God. So it's not bad, because just imagine if people didn't have religion, you have people doing all type of crazy shit. People that's like not necessarily as aware to self-govern themselves. So they need something like that. But when you reach that next level where you got a deep inclination where, yeah, that's not right, or not necessarily there is a right or wrong, but it's like, nah, that's not for me. Like you got a real spirit of discernment. You then become more spiritual, because what people don't understand, you already spiritual. Like you can't not be spiritual. Like you are a spirit here having this experience. So people say I'm trying to get spiritual, they kind of hustling backwards. You already a spirit here. You know what I'm saying? So you start really tapping in, and that's the difference, because when you in religion, you may need a book, you may need another person, you may need a certain prayer to connect with God. When you spiritual, you realize that you already connected to it, and all you really need is a little stillness. You know what I'm saying? And what I see in front of me is God. It's all a manifestation of that.
It's all energy moving, baby. That's all it is. I mean,
Exactly.
you know, all us growing up together, man. Growing up in a church, which we did, you know, we had a lot of people basically just telling us to shut up and listen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the only way, Jesus Christ and all that. And I'm not talking against Jesus or nothing else, but once I started getting in my spirit, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, I got all them same qualities God got. You feel me? And you know, I started getting away from what man said and started really educating myself. And one of the brothers that helped me do it outside of my brother King God is UB. You know what I'm saying? I remember when we was back in the day when you was in college, and we used to hang out and do whatever. You was still on that. You was just always spiritual, bro. And how, like, who influenced that more so than the young man that called you? But who influenced that before, like back in high school and college? I always want to know that.
Hey, I appreciate that, bro, and that's a great question. And the crazy part about it is, it really is fear, and it ain't like fear like a scared fear. It's a fear of respect, because I have what people call, I guess, a clairvoyance or intuition, and in that intuition, I always sense a presence with everybody, like it's like an over presence. Like I feel it here right now. It's always the presence of God that I feel strong, right? And so the reason why I say that is because, so I'm like, yeah, I don't feel that shit. That's why JoJo in football, like the priest, like I was the one praying for the football team. They gave me the football Bible. It wasn't because I was trying to be like a preacher for the thing. I'm like, y'all, we together. God is like right here. We need to give it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily something that was impacted, as opposed to something that I just kind of already was. So in a sense, it probably was my role in the group. You know what I'm saying? That, look, I can feel this. You know, we all live in life, so everybody might not be paying attention, because in life they tell us to focus on, you know, if you see it, you can believe it. If it's there, it's real. But people don't know the most beautiful, best, and strongest parts of life are the parts that you really don't actually can tangibly touch, like love, friendship, brotherhood, things that you act out, but you won't really necessarily touch it, as opposed to things that you're doing or that represents that. And so it's this strong inclination that was in me that I always just had to put a voice to, and just say, yo, hey, this is here, this is on me. And I feel like if I don't say something, that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Exactly, man. Hey, I understand. Hey, I'm the same way though, bro. So man, yeah. So man, hey, we used to have a blast, man. Like straight up, man. We used to have a blast, man. And just to see how, we all grew, and we all fathers now, and just like,
Right. Hey, man.
Man, I was just thinking about the blast that we used to have back then, man, and with the music, man, you just being a businessman and everything like that, man. I just I applaud you, bro. I just want to give you your roses right here, right now, man.
Right, bro.
And you already know, man. We all love each other, man. But
for sure,
with you and with your business, bro. And how did you come about like starting a business? Because you always been a businessman, ever since I knew you. So it's like I remember when you first, kind of started around Valdosta time. when you were down there with the moving, man, just off the muscle, man. You're like, hey, man, you wanna, how much you working at, you know, how much you making at your job? You know, like I'm making a little something here and there. And you're like, well, shit, you can work with me, bro. Just make this. And I was like, oh shit, well, yeah, I'll do that, bro. So you my brother, bro. And then you got to a point that you showed me the business, man. You showed me the business model and helped me out, man. You definitely blessed me and my family with the business model, man. But what made you go that route, man, as far as like being an entrepreneur and just keeping it going and just scaling your business from the mud to the sun?
Man, it's all God. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. And I'm gonna tell you how it happened, right? So I just read the scripture. So I just got into law of attraction. And I read the scripture, you have not because you ask not. So one day I looked up in the sky. I said, okay, God, I want $1 million. And I just looked up in the sky and said that. And then I just said, okay, I'm going to wait for something to show me. I'm going to wait for that prayer to be answered. But I just knew that prayer had to be answered. So I went to my main house in Valdosta to buy some herb. And then when I went to the crib, it was a dude sitting there that I saw before, but he was in there. And he said, yeah, man, I was in Atlanta and we unloaded the dude pod and we made $5,000 and my stomach jumped. Now, of course, automatically, I knew what a pod size was, even though I went in the moving business, but that sounded like a lie. But that was the first monetary thought that came to me since the prayer. So that's why I acted upon it, because my stomach jumped, it hit me on a deep level, and then I went and acted on it. So I went straight to the crib, started a Craigslist ad, said, I'll help you move your stuff. That was probably in 2007. And bro, when I tell you, I had a job like in a couple of days, somebody called me, asked me for help. Until today, I got a job tomorrow and forever. It's never going to stop. But that was 2007. It's 2021. I had a job that weekend all the way through the years until now. Now, of course, it wasn't as frequent and as smooth as it is now, but it started from of an asking, a connection, and then not just letting a prayer fleet away, holding to it, being in expectancy. And the first monetary thought that came to me, I acted upon it, and it grew from there. So I wasn't thinking about moving. I wasn't being strategic. I just said a prayer. I didn't go into the how at all. I just prayed and just looked, and then it showed up. And man, it's just been a nothing short of a blessing. Because for real, Joe, like you took it like it. You know, I told other brothers about it, but you know, it's you got to have an entrepreneur mindset to be able to do it, to be able to be of service, because this is a service-based business and industry. So you took it and ran with it. You know what I mean? So I be telling people about you and a few other brothers, like, man, these people took the game and made 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? Man. Now, of course, starting in Valdosta, I probably did maybe 8 to 10 jobs a week. You know what I'm saying? But moving to Atlanta, where people move all the time, I mean, business just went to a whole different level. So it definitely, you know, helped for location wise to take the business or take the seed and move it to Atlanta. And I wasn't being strategic with that. My queen was ready to come to Atlanta. So I was just like, well, let's go. And then it just happened like that. So that's why I'm such an advocate for prayer and spirituality, because spirit know what's up, man. And it's already a perfect blueprint. I mean, the sun don't need us to rise. That grass gonna grow. The season's gonna be perfect. Right. It's a perfection and stuff already, but I think because we have the illusion of free will, we're allowed to get in the way, to figure it out, to have an experience, to come to a conclusion, maybe to even know it deeper. But I really truly know and believe that when you get connected to what real spirit is, and that spirit is within you, that connection is within you. When you really do that and put your mind to something, I just can't see how the flow wouldn't happen. That's more life. And what would the universe want besides more life? You know what I'm saying?
You know what's so crazy? Let me hold on, bro. Hey, y'all too, and the world gonna see this, but y'all too always been my spiritual guide, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. And y'all my little brothers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I used to be. I just didn't care about nothing. But one thing about you being, man, you always been positive. I only seen you mad one time my whole life, and I've been knowing you 30 years. You know what I'm saying? 30 plus.
Hey, that's
And
the time in 10th grade we were about to fight the seniors. When I put with
hey, hey, bro. Hey, that was hilarious. I ain't never seen this dude mad in my life. I'm like, oh my God. If he go, everybody gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So, cause you ain't never, oh, hold on. Yeah, I ain't never seen you mad. I remember that time we was at Hutter House back in the day. and some niggas in some Hawaiian shirts pulled up on y'all boys.
oh
And
Lord.
we was like, they came out trying to be hard. It was on y'all too, man. They're trying to be hard, man. We had anyway, bruh. Make a long story short. I got a question. How would you go about telling the young Ben how to make moves at this age now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you tell the old you, the 18-year-old you?
I would tell him that the way you perceiving life and time is through a lens of the amount of life and time that you done lived. Because when I was 20 years old, I thought I knew something. And when I hit 30, I realized I ain't know shit. You see what I'm saying? So I might be in my 20s thinking that, man, this ain't happening fast enough, not knowing that I need 6, 7, 8 years to be perfected, to where when it comes in year 8, 9, to be able to even sustain it. And it's even better as opposed to getting it and going crazy. So I would really say like that right there, like the patience game, what's in front of you is important, even if it don't look as important right now. And then that right there is going to be overall the pan out. But sometimes it might take a decade.
Yeah, man, because I actually realized I still don't know shit. You know,
exactly.
Like I tell everybody this now, man, you'll forever be a student. Like when the moment you stop being a student, it's over. Like it's over.
Right.
Like straight up, man. You know what I'm saying? You get too comfortable and it's pretty much over. Your life is done. You just at that point though. You know what I'm saying? You probably be all happy and everything, whatever. But it's like I would never stop trying to learn something new, bro. Every day I'm learning something new, bro. Like every day I'm out here, like it's right here, bro. It's like right in your hand, bro. The
like
phone,
right
bro. It's like all the information is out there. So it's like you have to engage in that, man. And I'm big on just manifesting my life.
Yep.
So that type of things, and put my energy towards something that I want to see grow. So, and I know you big on that as well, bro. And I know you meditate. I'm big on meditation as well. So what is the things you do as far as like meditation goes, or manifesting the way you go about things? You know, because we out here, we know we can move. We got to move a certain way, man. Because I know you deep into astrology, so you big on the numbers, you big on the stars. So what you think how life is moving like that, man? Because a lot of people like they trying to plan stuff and do this and do that, but you'll look into your chart and be like, hold up, y'all, hey, hold up now. You in the moon right now, retrograde and all that, man. So talk a little bit about your experience in astrology, man. Just let us enlighten us a little bit more.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, when I tell you astrology is everything, it's like it's everything. And when I say that, people don't understand, because it's like you doing astrology right now. When y'all said let's do the podcast tomorrow, that's astrology. Because what is a tomorrow besides a rotation of the earth to face the sun again? You know what I'm saying? It ain't no separation. It's just they ain't spinning around, and now we facing the sun again. You know what I'm saying? And I'm down here in my office, but I don't got the heat on down here, so I'm kind of shaky in my voice. It's cold out here tonight. My nose running and everything. But with astrology, it tells us in Genesis 1:14, let the stars be for signs of things to come. It says that in the first chapter of the Bible. And what that means is, oh my bad. What that means is what happens on earth or what happens in the heavens correlate on earth. So when you know how to really look at the stars, that can give you kind of an alignment of what's going to happen and what's going to go down. So when you have that, which is our common knowledge of our people now, I just want to get that straight. Like we look at astrology like that's kind of taboo because we kind of in the Bible Belt, but like our ancestors was already into astrology, knew how to navigate the stars, just knew what it was. So when it comes to astrology, learning that is the reverse engineering of learning yourself. What makes King God JoJo have a Capricorn sun is just because the sun was in Capricorn when they were born. You know what I'm saying? And what that does, that has a reflection of into you, because everything is manifested light. Everything is electromagnetics. So when you learn this kind of code, you be able to kind of discern yourself. I give you an example. My wife is a Virgo, and she was born in September, right? Which is a sign of Virgo. Now, when it comes to a Virgo energy, it's a very scrutinizing energy. It's about small details. It also rules work and health. So when I first got with her, I used to bring her certain ideas, and she used to just kind of just tear it down instantly. And I'm like, damn, like this girl always kind of tear down my ideas. It's like she being negative. But when I started studying astrology and understood her energy, I realized she was not being against me. She was actually doing her power. I just need to come to her with a better idea, with a more structured idea. When I learned that and brought her a better idea, like, babe, check this out. She went through then and found the kinks for me and then made it stronger. So it wasn't that she was being negative. It was just that I didn't have the proper knowledge, human knowledge. It's one of the very instances to make it very powerful, because if you think about it, everything is sun energy. Like the sun, if you look out, you see a tree, the tree is growing because the sun is sending that down, sending that growth. We grow because of the sun. If you see, I'm talking about everything is sun energy. So when you really think about that and what it really means, you really did think, yeah, maybe I should kind of know a little bit more behind the energy and the properties of the energy that the sun brings you. And you really start by just learning your own chart. You don't have to get all deep. Just get your own chart, pull your own birth chart up. So what does it mean to have a sun in Capricorn? What does it mean to have a moon in Gemini, for the moon to be born there? And that has a certain level of influence on you. And if that means that for you, then that must mean that for them. And then you ask them or somebody else, you like that? For example, Capricorns, right? Me knowing about Capricorns, I know automatically when I work with Capricorns, a Capricorn is the boss. So they're going to 9 times out of 10 be the head person in charge. This person going to be about their work. And Capricorn also is a cardinal sign. All the cardinal signs are at the beginning of every season. So it's really good to start something with a cardinal sign. Me and JoJo did tours all across places. Me and Mike D started up all these businesses. Now, you would think, yeah, when I get with Mike D, when I get with JoJo, it's easy to get something going. And that'll be the truth. But now that you know astrology or know the nature of the energies, you saying, yeah, let me get with Mike D because he bring that Capricorn energy. And he'll be able to do this, and that. And he got a Capricorn, so he can go somewhere himself. He don't even need a whole team, right? He can go ahead and assert and do what he need to do there. You see what I'm saying? So it just teaches you how to move a little bit by knowing yourself and helps you know others, because everybody under the same sky.
Bro. Okay. So that's dope. That's so dope. Like I never thought about that myself, Okay, so what's a good reference would you recommend for somebody to start getting into that? Because I ain't gonna lie, you sold me. You sold me, bro. Because to be honest, I lost religion a long time ago. Because I think religion, I know religion is just a man-made tool that put people in boxes. You know what I'm saying? It's all about rules. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong to it. It's like a blueprint to life, but it's something deeper. And what you saying, the whole astrology deal, it makes sense. Exactly. It makes sense. Like today, down here, the sun was out all day. Even though it was like 50 degrees, the sun was out all day, and I felt bigger than everybody. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I had a good energy. I was amped up. Right. Everybody I talked to today, they was like, they felt it, bro. Like we had a good ass time, and we, I ain't drank or nothing. It was just at work. So at the end of the day, it was crazy. So what is a good reference that you recommend?
I recommend going to astro.com, astro.com. You put in your birth data, it'll give you your layout. It's better if you know your birth time, because your birth time tells you what sign was rising, and then that do the whole layout of the entire sky. But if you don't have that, you can just put your birth date in it, and then when you go to astro.com, then you see you have a sun in Capricorn. And then what you do then, you just go to either Google or YouTube. What does it mean to have a sun in Capricorn? And then boom. And then you go, and then you go, and then there, and then what does it mean to have the moon here? So when you start doing it, you start studying. So you're like, oh, that's why I'm like that. Oh, that's why I really be able to process my emotional self that way. You know what I'm saying? So astro.com is what I definitely recommend.
Dope. Okay. Let me ask you another question then. I'm trying to do something real quick, but so how did you motivate your queen to understand the path you was going in? You know, we grow up in the South, so we pretty much always on that Bible and going to church every Sunday, and you know you got to dress a certain way. So how did you get her on that level? You know.
Excellent question. And I like to talk about this because I talk to a lot of brothers. Like, really, if you try to bring something new to my queen older than me, right? And so when you try to bring something new to a queen, because the queen represents the feminine, like she likes to take something that's already known and then make sure and use it and manage it. That's how she take the house and make a home. So if I'm bringing new knowledge and like, babe, this is what we own right now. Like, forget that. This is what we own. It's automatically gonna be met with, like, oh, hold up. So instead of doing all that, I just really just worked on it for myself, because the beautiful thing about astrology and the difference with religions, you got to believe in a religion. I can take you outside right now and point you to the moon. I ain't got to convince you. And then when I say, okay, your moon means this, and that's mean that should happen to you on this day, and it do happen on that day, then you can't help but to believe it. It's like, well, shit. Well, we on kind of some puppet strings a little bit out here. And it's kind of eye-opening at first, but that's what I love about it. I'm not asking you to believe in astrology. I'm not asking you to believe in the planets. Come with me outside. Look right there. They go the moon. They go the sun. They go Jupiter. They go Saturn. They go Mars. They go Venus. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it's like, because it's right there, that means this should be happening to you right here. And then when it is happening, it's like, okay, yeah. And it's scripture to back it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's what I wanted to talk about, because I'm not huge on the Bible, but I know about it. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot about it. But just like you just said, is the scripture behind everything as well. So how do you tie that in? Because I know we like to talk about God bodies, because when I talk about God, I'm talking about the person I'm looking at in the mirror. So I'm deep on that. So what can you tie in with the Bible and astrology, just like you were just talking about?
Yeah, because in the Bible, when you look what Jesus taught real truth. And what was that? That you are one with God, and he always used references to nature, because nature is what's real. I don't care if man out of here or whatever passed, nature is going to be here. And then, so when you really think about that, nature is the planets. We think nature is just Earth. Nature is all the living life around us. So when you look at the planets moving in the sky, that's nature as well. So when you really kind of implement what is true, like what is unchanged, what man can't touch, like what are those things that is real truth that's sitting there, and they never will change the sun. The sun is going to be up tomorrow at 6 a.m. If it don't come up, we all got a problem. So
we all got a problem.
We all got a big problem. Somebody asked me, what would say? Did I hear about we're supposed to have 3 days of darkness where the sun don't rise for 3 days? I bro, if the sun don't rise for 3 days, that means this is the equator. Only place the sun couldn't rise for 3 days is right here at the very North Pole. That means the whole equator has went up like that. And if the Earth does that, it's a tidal wave coming in 8 minutes anyway. So we dead anyway. So that's what I'm saying. Like our lives solely depend on this. Oh, and this too, think about this. And I tell people to do this sometimes. If you describe Jesus and describe the sun, you will see that it's kind of the same. You know what I'm saying? It's you can't last 8 minutes without the sun, bro. And the sun gives us life every single day.
You know what made me start looking at that though, bro, is when I started looking into like the pyramids and Ra and just all that, and I'm like, whoa. So then I started I was like, well, it was something before that too, right? So let me go a little bit more. And I say that to say, what made you, growing up the way you did in the church, just branch out and start studying astrology, and also coming back home and explaining it to your mom and your dad that, hey, I believe in this, and maybe you want to look into this?
Hey, I'm smiling because it's a funny story. Because see, I never claimed to be a type of guru or anything like this. This shit came to me, and I used to not tell this story, but I just tell it now. Like, bro, when I was in Valdosta, Georgia, I saw a UFO, bro. I saw a real UFO, dog, and the UFO didn't scare me. It was the timing of everything. So I grew up holy as Christian. So it was either God, devil, demons, or Jesus. I was coming out of that, and I stopped believing in all that. I was just like, okay, I don't believe in all that. But when I saw the UFO and started studying the UFO stuff, it started saying, well, aliens are the demons. So it took me down this whole fear path again, because that's what I grew up on. And I started learning about interdimensional beings that don't need bodies, that's all around us and shit like that. Whether it's true or not, because I'm just coming into this language and information from straight religion, it just put me in such a state of fear, because I saw it right outside my house. So because it's like, okay, these motherfuckers know where I'm at. Okay, how did I know it was a UFO? The shit was sitting there like a light, and then when it flew over my head, it didn't have no wings. It didn't have no motion, drift, or anything that we use right now for flight. And so it was an unidentified flying object. That didn't necessarily scare me, but the research is what was scary. So that fear was like a pressure. That fear put me in a state for a while. And I prayed and asked God, I said, God, man, you got to send me some help with this. Like, this is just too much. Like, because my whole reality switch was upside down. What I thought was real was fake. And what I thought was fake is now like, oh shit, all this shit is real. And then I had 2 words come to me out of my consciousness. It said, study astrology. And then when I started looking into astrology, this stuff started manifesting. I started meeting the right people. I started seeing stuff for what it really was. And I started gathering truth. And I started basing myself against that truth. And then that's what made me a more powerful being, because I based myself against truth. Because it's like this. How you going to tell somebody something is impossible when there's a floating ball of fire in the sky right now? We just ain't facing it. And we floating. What the fuck?
That's real.
It's floating, bro. It's just floating. I was like, who holding this right now, man?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, when you really open the parameters of mind, nobody can let you play it small no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold up. What's impossible? Because it's a freaking moon right there. And it's a sun right there, goddamn.
I say it all the time, bro. And I remember that story that you told me when you seen that UFO, bro, when we was in Valdosta, man. I'll never forget that, bro. I was like, what, bro? Like, so,
I never knew that story, bro.
Yeah, bro, I'll never forget that, man. Ever since then, bro, it's just been on a whole nother journey. Cause we was going fast, bro. We was going like the whole music, we were doing the shows, we were having a blast. And then it's it just kind of
became secondary.
Yeah, it's like everything just kind of shift, like, okay, we're going this way now. You know what I'm saying? I remember all that, bro. I remember all that.
But you know what's crazy though, bro? What's crazy is like all our life we've been thinking that people that been telling us stuff know, like they just know, right?
Right.
And then you get to a point in your life where you be like, they ain't no shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, man, because it's like now it's like my kids, I don't want to lie to them about, religion. You know what I'm saying? I want
Mhm.
them to like find it. I want them to find the energy themselves though, but I do want to navigate that energy. So what would you tell the community? Because we all big on community. What would you
For
tell the
sure.
young men in the community to get out of that whole real nigger, what I'm saying, mindset, and to get on some, hey, get that knowledge and let's get this money and let's prosper.
Right. I would say, man, think about it. Like I said earlier, where you at is where you thinking from most of the time. Unless you acquiring knowledge to look in history and look ahead. You know what I'm saying? But I would say, man, think about it, man. This shit is temporary, man. Even if you live in 70 years.
Mm,
So look, what are you doing right now, and what is it building towards? And what was here before you and what will be here after you? Like, align yourself with what's real truth. And what that real truth is that spirit within you is connected to the spirit of the living God. And when you put that type of thing in your mind, it's like, okay, what definition can I put on myself then? A thug or this or that and that can even stick if I say I'm the vessel of a
mm,
spirit from the living God, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So you in a sense gotta walk
mm,
like a king, or like Jojo said, like a God body, because you are literally a God body. So if I'm saying I'm a nigga and I'm this right there, like if you really don't embody that, you're inside of you, just like nah, you can't even say that. So when you
right.
really connect and embody real truth, it starts to change. And I understand if you are in an environment that's not conducive to that. If you in a toxic environment, if you real young and you still live with your parents, and that environment's not where you can't get out of right now, you have to control what you can control, and that is your reactions and your inner world. See, what you
Mm-hmm.
what you have to understand is it's an unseen world that governs really by 85 to 90% of everything, and that unseen energy around you affects that world. It's like this, like a bully, right? A bully can always find the one to pick on. They just know it. Until you meet that energy, and then they're like, okay, I can't fuck with that one no more. But he knows just which one to find, and no matter what that person go to, they kind of get bullied. Why is that? It's because of the energy and the way that they hold in their energy and the way that the bully holding their energy that you can't even see. It connects to that energy. So I say that to say, if you are in an environment that you can't change, you can influence that energy by controlling the way that you respond, controlling your emotions, and chilling on your emotions. Oh, my bad, I had a call come in. Like, and then
Yeah,
once you
right.
do that, what happens is electromagnetically, the world conforms around you a little differently. It relates to you a little differently because it's all light. And I'm not trying to go too deep with it. I just want to keep it super simple. When you really start to control your emotions is energy in motion. So something that really trigger you, it still is, if it's, you need to protect yourself from it, that's one thing. But if you can also control your emotional response to it, it's not easy. I promise it's not easy, but if you can do it, you would notice that the way you respond to it was also giving that thing inclusion in your life. And this is real deep hermetic science when you're talking about vibrations. But where are your vibrations coming from? It's coming from your emotions, your energy in
Mm-hmm.
motion. Yeah, and but most of us don't have control of our emotions because what are we? 9 times out of 10 we distracted. 9 times out of 10 we not meditating. 9 times out of 10 we listen to music that make us bop our head so fast, we so sped up that we can't help but to be in this state of beta, which is like fast brain patterns. We don't slow down. We don't get in the alpha state to really see something and really see for what it is. So once you really can see something for what it is, you can't even get caught up in it like that. So that would be my I know that was a lot, but to sum it all up, if you can control your emotions, if you can really get still enough to see something not from a place of judgment, but from a place of just observing and then make a decision from there, 9 times out of 10, you will be better off and on the right path.
Bro, that's so dope, bro. I'm so proud of you, bro.
Yeah, man.
I'm proud of both of y'all.
Yeah, man. That's
Listen, bro.
super dope, man. Super dope, man. And again, man, I'm glad you even came on the episode, bro, and explained that, because like I said, you're a young brother and with a lot of knowledge, man, and just a spiritual entrepreneur, like you say. And I appreciate you coming on the show, man. I appreciate you.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, man. No, thank you, bro. Definitely giving that knowledge.
Thank you,
man.
bro.
I'm more enlightened now as well. And I know the people that's gonna be watching this and listening to this as well, man. Just like, dang, man, this is amazing, man. You know, you got three young Black brothers that's out here and trying to do something positive and just go from there, man. But I definitely appreciate you coming through, my brother, man. And man, like I said, bro, we want to give you flowers while you're here, man, and all love. And hey, I need everybody to tune in with them. That's on IG, man. Let them know where they can contact you at, bro.
Yeah, man, you can follow me on IG at welldonemysun. And then just on there you can holler at me if you want to go deeper into anything that we chopped it up on here. I'm open. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me again, man. This was just amazing.
Oh no,
you're gonna
man,
come back, bro. You're gonna come back.
No doubt, man. Yeah, man. And hey, once again, I definitely appreciate everybody that listen to it, man. Y'all tune into the I Don't Even Know Bro podcast with your host, King Guy, and your host, Mike Chacho. What up, Mike Chacho? Appreciate it, guys.
Let's get it. Everybody eat.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
Brothers, man. And this how we live, man. That war boy life. Huh?
Lay back chillin', dog, yeah, I'm tryna get it right.